Alright, guys. We're into a big banging series. It's the lower bracket round 3 from the DreamHack Masters Atlanta EU Regionals. That's a mouthful. We've got Clem in the top right representing Team Liquid. The young French Terran, a beast in Zerg versus Terran, but he's up against the race which he struggles with. He struggles with Korean Protosses especially, but this young man, this Danish prince, he plays like a Korean in many regards. It's MaxPax. He's a trendsetter. He's a very big influence on the Protoss versus Protoss meta, but I think he also comes out with some very, trailblazing strategies against Zerg and Terran as well. And he's up against a proxy 2-racks opening from Clem. Is Clem going 2-racks Reaper over here? What in the hell is this? Hello. All right. I mean, this has got to be. Yeah, I think it's 2-racks Reaper, but he wants it to look like it's 1-rack. So MaxPax is going to come in, go, oh, what's going on here? But wait, this gas is pretty late. That's a big tell. If the probe goes straight in there and sees the second gas, it's so late. That should tell him. Okay, so he's going to want Clem to think that it's just going to be an expand build. But if Clem, it's for MaxPax to think that. But if MaxPax hangs around, he should be good. MaxPax is building a Zealot, a Cybercore. He'll cancel the Zealot so he can build the Nexus here. Oh, no, he's actually going to let the Zealot finish. Interesting. Zealot's going to help as a bit of a bullet sponge up against those Reapers that will be pumping out 2 at a time. And this essentially is a 3 to 5 Reaper pressure into Command Center, and then you get Stim and Shields on the barracks and go into a double Marine drop. Probe is starting to harass here. SCV does hop off that depot. Probe backs off. First SCV is arriving at the natural. He's going to come on in right now. The Zealot sees that SCV. He's going to stop him from building the bunker. Probe in the mineral line, still just running around this base. And the Reaper will be heading back to get him. He's looking to see if he can spot the command center. And seeing the extra SCV there is about all MaxPax needs to know. He can definitely read into this and say, okay, yeah, you're just expanding. He cancels his shield battery, though, up against a guy who's going to have 3 Reapers very quickly. That's not very good, especially if he sends the Zealot forward across the map. Uh-oh. This is a good start for Clem right now. Clem coming in with a surprise strategy. MaxPax should know from how delayed that command center is that this is not a normal play. MaxPax saw this was single gas. MaxPax should be pumping his units and chrono boosting them. He's chrono boosting an Adept here. He's got to be careful to not overextend. If he loses that Stalker, that'd be a real bummer. But I like that he pulls back here and chronos the Adept and builds a shield battery in the main. This is a very good ordering of his priorities. MaxPax on top of what's happening. Zealot's going to go down, though. He's going to have to pull back and wait for the Adept. Now, the barracks did have to float quite a ways back. He'll build the reactor there, tech lab in the main where it's a bit more protected. Factories on the way. And he's going to build a bunker to try and defend any counter pressure. Neither side's lost too much, just a Zealot and a probe for MaxPax. But remember, he got a much quicker expansion up, and interestingly, he's rallying into his main, so he thinks, oh, the Reapers might be on the map. I got to be real careful here. The Reapers and a Marine should be able to defend this with micro. Clem, though, oh, he's a little slow to micro that. Oh, Clem, you do not want to be losing more than 1 Reaper here. This is a bit of a mistake for him. The Adept does go down, as does that Marine, though. So a Reaper and a Marine for an Adept. Not the worst trade of all time for MaxPax, but not really a positive one. And a Cyclone is on the way for Clem as he goes for another tech lab. The reactor almost finished. And behind it, Blink starts up and a second gateway is on the way. MaxPax is now transferred down to his expansion, realizing the Reapers are pinned at home. Unfortunately for him, they've just wriggled out of there. They've avoided the Stalker that's on watch duty. And there's only 1 Stalker at home right now. So they could run into the main, but shield battery awaits them. So I think MaxPax is pretty solid on the defense. Stim does start up as well as a 3rd barracks before starport. So Clem really wants to build up to a lot of Stim bio in this game. Reapers coming into the main, seeing the shield battery, realizing they can't get anything done. Sometimes the better part of Valor is to retreat to fight another day. Engineering Bay, Tank Marine on the way. I mean, there's going to be a big, brutal 2-base push. This map has some fantastic tank spots on it. And I don't know if MaxPax really has enough of an edge in the probe count to what he'd like. Now, you might think, oh, he's supply blocked. But check it out, guys. His pylons finish literally as his probes finish, so he doesn't get supply blocked at all. That's what we call excellent, excellent timing on those pylons. He's going to look towards the 3rd base here. Warp Prism is on the way. Now, that's interesting. Warp Prism already off just 2 gateways. 3rd gateway does finish up and is now transforming here in the natural wall-off. Those Reapers going to come in. He wants to try and deny this if he can. Those Reapers denying the 3rd base would be a bit annoying for MaxPax. MaxPax is actually adding a 4th gas, which makes me think we might see RoboBay go down any moment now. The scary situation here is so much tech is on the natural and you're only building spaces in the top left of your main where you can lose your tech. So you don't really want to build a Robo Bay up here. I feel like it's a bit awkward for MaxPax. He's going to look for some pickoffs, and one SCV, not bad. Worth taking a bit of damage on a Stalker. The problem is, of course, that attack, it nears, and with no starport, oh my lord, is Clem just going to do the Medevacless push? That means he might push out any second now. Wait, he's going for a 4th gas. Oh, he's got a... There, I was going to say, he must have forgotten his starport. It's so late. He's not planning to hit until about 8 minutes, if that's the case. He could push out before the Medevacs are here and just have those for the second wave. One Marine does get picked off. MaxPax still doing some very good micro. Double Stalker warp in and the probe pull as well. Reapers are going to get 1 probe and a second one. Not too bad. 2 probes for 2 Reapers. I mean, it's not amazing, but it's not terrible. Colossus Bay is here and finished, which means MaxPax can start his first Colossus. Going to add him some anti-Marine Marauder firepower. Mostly good against the Marines, though, and that Marauder count's already going. Clem, he's on 3 tanks. He's building a 4th. We expect probably a reactor to go down immediately on that starport. His Medevacs ain't going to be here. If you can bait some stims out as MaxPax, that's going to be something which Clem can't recover from for a long time. He's actually building a 3rd command center behind this. Clem coming forward with a big scary push, but it really doesn't feel like it's a kill move. And those Stalkers picking off quite a few of these Marines, getting some shots on the Marauder as well. Battery's almost up on the 3rd. He's got 2 sentries here. Great force fields to buy time. Maybe could have let a few more of those units across the gap, though. And a good pullback here for MaxPax. MaxPax is going to need to move to that right side. He's got the shield battery. Colossus and some sentries are up on that 3rd base. He's only up a few workers. Charges on the way. Clem, he's going to take position and start to siege this out. The Colossus can get healed by battery overcharge over here while defending this army. Stalker's going to try and intercept the rally. There is a warp prism on the other side of the map as well. Stalker's going to do some good micro. Nice blink backs. He's going to lose 1 Stalker, 2 Stalkers, but getting a tank and a bunch of Marine Marauder, that's worth it. You can see here, the battery has been drained of its energy. Prism has still not warped in any Zealots on the other side of the map. Those Stalkers derping around a little bit over there, continuing to deal with these Marauders that rally in. Clem is going to take out the 3rd. If the battery is healing the Nexus, but oh man, he has to go right now. That's going to go down and it falls. He doesn't want to fight pre-charge, and Clem says, sweet, we got the Nexus. Get out, run. He literally stims to run away. MaxPax is going to try and make it hard for him, force him to siege up a little bit. If the Zealot charge comes in, MaxPax could go. The tanks are in the open. They are mighty exposed right now. And that's a very good fight for MaxPax. But as I said, a lot of his Stalkers go down. And oh no, the flanker bio. Marauders coming in from both sides. Where's the flank? Well, guess what? He warped in Clem's base. He did not warp in at home. And as a result, he's got to back out here. But his Zealots are doing big damage on the other side. Was it worth it? He lost a Colossus because of this. Well, he's getting a lot of mining time and 6 SCVs down. Prism picks up those Zealots. He's going to try and redrop in the 3rd base, but the double drop has come back and it's time to get on out of there. Clem will be able to stabilize at home, cleaning up those Zealots. There's still 1 pervy boy sieged up, giving fantastic vision of just about everything. Behind it, it looks like 2 Colossus are out. Their extended thermal lance upgrade is almost finished. We've got a 3rd Nexus on the way, DT Shrine as well. MaxPax is really one of these Protoss players, much like Creator in the Korean scene. He's happy to sit back and defend and just do these Zealot backstabs. He's happy to just stay at a very similar worker count, maybe barely ahead of the Terran. I think sometimes maybe MaxPax almost accepts his fate of being locked on equal workers with the Terran for a little bit too long. And it really just comes down to if he can find the big damage with the Zealot run by or do some sort of backstab, that could be great. Now, he's actually gambling on a very early DT Shrine. The reason that's such a gamble is it's, you know, you don't have a second Robo. You're just getting your 2nd Forge up. You lost your 3rd. I mean, this is not a good economy. He's basically saying, I want to hit those DTs early enough in the game in a situation where he doesn't have any detection, and also my Observer knows there's no turrets. There's no Raven. So if I can just surprise him with 1 Dark Templar on each mineral line while barely surviving a push, that could get me right back on into the game. Hungry Zealot chasing after these Marines. He wants to make some Terran sushi, but there we go. Does barely take it out. 1 hit point, does survive that one. Warp Prism getting chased by the Viking. Stalkers are not on the map right now. There's only 1 Stalker on the map. Oh, man. That's just how broke MaxPax is at this stage. 2nd Robo's on the way, so he wants to be going for that. He built a 2nd Forge, didn't he? Or wait. That was his... Oh, that was his 1st Forge. Oh, his upgrades are so far behind. Especially with the 2nd Engineering Bay, Armory, and a 4th Command Center on the way. Clem, when he's in this situation, he's basically saying, I'm just going to have unlimited units. I'm going to swarm over you. And As long as he finds a moment to trade in the next, say, 2 minutes before the 12-minute mark, he should be able to pick apart MaxPax when he just doesn't have the numbers. He's got 3 Stalkers. He's got a Disruptor, 3 Colossus, 9 Zealots, 3 Sentries. It's a tiny army. The DTs are waiting. So the whole play here is let's hope he never adds turrets. Wait until Clem pushes, and when he pushes, these DTs are going to go in for maximum damage. Turret not building in a good position in the main. That's only good against Warp Prisms. I like the patience from MaxPax on showing this. He's also adding Blink DTs right now. Remember, he's down about 10 workers. His upgrades absolutely suck. It's double drop on the left side. He's thinking about just roaming the map for map control, which is always a good move. DTs are going to click in on this left side. I think it might be a bit too early to pull the trigger personally, as so much of his army's at home. And look at this. Clem's gonna shut this down. This ain't gonna find nothing. Clem, does he see it? Does he see it? DT in the third immediately. DT in the natural gets in on by, gets towards the main base. Oh, he raises the depot. That one goes down. That guy should go down. Yes, it does. And the DT in the natural does come on back in, but 2 SCVs for 2 DTs and a couple scans. I mean, it's an okay trade if you're in an even game. When you're trailing on the worker count, the base count for as long as MaxPax is, this is looking dire. MaxPax getting dumped on right now by Clem in this game. The DTs get cleaned up, and that there is 5 tanks, 7 Vikings, soon to be 9, 26 Marines, 14 Marauders, and the Ghosts coming on top as the cherry on top of the pie. Right now, MaxPax here, he's got a soft serve. He's got a McDonald's soft serve. It's not even a McFlurry, and he's trying to fight a goddamn beautiful, authentic bakery treat of Terran death. This is not going to be a good... Oh, man. Basically, the Disruptors need to land bigger than they've ever landed, but with the tanks there that outrange them, it's going to be tough. Here we go. Disruptors are going to need to buy some time, but the Vikings are already far forward. 1 Colossus about to go down. Disruptors trying to fly forward, not finding the mark. That's a dead 4th base. Disruptors, oh, okay, finds some decent hits there. 1 more Disruptor goes 4th. Clem, though, happy to take that out. The Vikings just dominating the Colossus. I mean, he could even just pick up and move into the main now. He could pick up his bio, move into the main, shift his tanks down here. There's just nothing MaxPax can do to defend this scenario. DT goes in, landed, Vikings defend it. He's going to try and move up into the main base to defend is Mr. MaxPax. But, dude, that is a nasty spot. Look at that in the tank Viking. Get him. Oh, they just blast his Disruptors. MaxPax trying to outrange them without knowing exactly where they were sieged. He had to just guess, and that is not going to work out for him. Clem too far ahead. The 2 racks opening with the Reapers just keeping up a little bit of pressure, and then going into the 3 racks medevacless bio tank push. It's so hard for a Protoss player to deal with. Balls do go fly. Cry Havoc and let loose the Balls of War. It's not going to be enough, though. The Balls of War, something that Protoss have used to get back in their games many times, but he's just got no support for it. Clem's not going to give him any opportunities, and Clem isn't even evicted from this position. He literally can stay here as long as he wants. Vikings landed in case the Zealot flank comes in. They're going to block that up. And you can see the way Clem's like, hey, I can just hang out here all day, man. DTs come in, start to take out a few of those Vikings. Does blink one of them away. MaxPax with some nice micro once again. Clem has been on an absolute run this tournament. Don't think he's going to be stopped just yet. Marine Marauder's going to run in on that right side. If they can avoid the cannons, it could be good, but a pretty good setup of static defense. But the way Clem just moved out tactically with those pushes had a giant economy behind it. Closes out game 1 in a one-sided fashion. All right, that was a rough game 1 there for MaxPax. Let's see if he can bring it back. Representing Psystorm in the top left side. Clem, a dominating and honestly just like a nothing. I mean, yeah, he did a cool opening, but nothing special from then needed. No special sauce, just solid play. Team Liquid's Clem. Monster once he gets going, man. You give him a bit of a lead and he drops that 4th command center so early and it feels like his army is just constantly reinforcing across the map. Gateway up in the main base as well. Alright. We'll see what's going on. Gateway's on the way. Let's see if the assimilator goes down as well. SCVs are on the way. Barracks gas opening. Looks like no super early SCV scout, but... sorry, this is actually a gas first opening, correction there. So Clem looking for a very quick factory. Often people do this with an engineering bay block build, but it looks like for him he's just going to do the expand. And that allows you to tech up pretty hard. So probably Reaper plus expansion. Usually what you'd expect here. You can go for a very quick Hellion drop if you want as well. If you don't go for the Reaper, you can drop such a sick fast factory. Probe and SCV butt heads there. It's a big map. MaxPax, despite that, plays Cybercore before Nexus. I do think MaxPax PVT openings, he used to be so good when he did a lot of his clever proxies, but I think they've stopped working for him. And he's been a bit predictable lately with doing a lot of just Cybercore Nexus openings, scouting with Probe. Very rarely see him just skip the scout. Very rarely see him go Nexus before, you know, Core or anything like that. I don't know if it's the best way to do it, to be honest. It is indeed a Reaper expand into that nice quick 1 minute 55 factory for Clem. Sees the Cybercore in the main, doesn't bother scouting the gases. Says, I've seen enough, that's all I need to know. The Adept does get chrono boosted out towards him. Reaper, on the other hand, heading on up. It's going to head across the north side of the map. No second gas yet, which tells me that Clem might be thinking about going for Hellions and something that's more mineral heavy, and maybe even delaying the starport entirely is an option. But it could just be medevac 4 Hellions into a couple of extra barracks. Second gas goes down now. Here we go, Reaper in the main base, but he sees the shield battery. MaxPax, I mean, it's cool to not take damage with the shield battery, but if he doesn't get any damage done with his Adept pressure, that'll suck. On the other hand, there's literally no units to get in the bunker right now. The Reaper can head home to that bunker, but it's not there just yet. At least the SCVs can hide inside. This is going to delay the command center, though, and that command center is very important. Now, these 2 Hellions will come out and get rid of the Adept, but not before quite a delay. And that means the command center is not being built, which means the next 2 Hellions will be supply blocked here. Clem's not building SCVs right now. There we go. Does start one up. But this is a very good delay. MaxPax needs to get out of here. He needs to get out. Oh, he's going to lose this Adept. Committing way too hard right now. Does get the SCV building the command center, though. That's big. Okay, I think it's worth losing the Adept because look at this supply block. It's actually... Okay, he did build another depot in the back. Clem realizing that this would have been a very bad position if he didn't do that. Wait. No other units? Wait. There's only one Adept? MaxPax, hello? Warp gate's not ready, dude. Oh, he has to full wall. Okay, so he's going to shade his Adept inside his wall, and then he's going to wall his base. No, wall off. You need to wall off, bro. Oh my god, he needs to wall off. Oh, he barely gets it up in time. Probe does go down, though, and that pylon, I mean, that's going to take some damage. Oh, I guess he just barely gets his Stalkers out in time. MaxPax playing with fire. He is up 9 probes right now, though. 2 Stalkers warping in the face of these units saying, hey, get out of here, boys. And they do push that back behind it. Medevacs on the way, as well as some Widow Mines coming out of the reacted factory. No armory, so it looks like just a normie Widow Mine drop. 2 Widow Mines will head across the map, and there's 4 Hellions and a Reaper that are going to try and slow down that third base. MaxPax right now is on 3 gateways, and he will no doubt be looking for an extra expansion in the near future. Stalkers gathering up. Blink's going to be done in about 40 seconds, about that 5-minute mark. Behind it, looks like Raven and Tank Bio Production gearing up for a 2-base push around the 8-minute mark, most likely. Maybe 8.5 minutes for Clem. Widow Mine drop's going to come in the side. It's going to try and drop right on top. Stalkers are there. They'll get a bit of damage on the medevac, but these Widow Mines are definitely going to be able to get inside the mineral lines. First one does get just a single probe. The Hellions, oh, the Hellions bounce their way in. They bounce the Stalker out of the wall with a grenade, and they are getting massive damage. Oh, no. This is a slaughter. I wasn't even thinking about the Reaper grenade. The Widow Mine got some kills. 13 workers go down, and Clem is just playing excellent TvP. He is mixing up his openings. 2 Barracks Reaper. This time gas first Hellions plus a Widow Mine drop. He's keeping MaxPax guessing, and MaxPax just can't get on top of it. I keep saying MaxPax is playing almost predictably safe openings, and despite it, he's taking massive damage. I wonder if MaxPax should be playing more aggressive. Usually, it was Zest. It's Hero that absolutely dismantle MaxPax in tournaments. It's the Protoss players from Korea that play very aggressively. But MaxPax, he only likes to play aggressively once he's got like Blink up and this sort of stuff. He doesn't like to go for those proxy gateway builds anymore, and I think it might be hurting him here. Stim will get sniped though. He could still get himself back into this game. He's got to do big damage. He cannot afford to go down right here. Medevac's going to get F2'd home right now. You can see the Stalkers here. They're going to pick off one of the barracks it's building. That's really good. Still 3 barracks alive. Tank does need to move back from the front. I think that front tank is probably the one that he really should be trying to shuffle over and move up here or something like that. One Stalker does go down. Tank has a decent reach. If MaxPax wanted, he could be picking at that starport and force it to lift. There's also an SCV down there. He's going to start doing some split pressure. Is MaxPax... Uh-oh, Prism is out in the open. The Viking does get focused though, and that allows the Prism to get out. He gets the medevac on the way out. He blinks forward on the front at the same time. MaxPax is all over him. Clem dumpstered the economy of MaxPax at the start of this game, but he was not solid on the defense, and the 3-gate blink counterattack is coming in with a vengeance. Angry Protoss player says, I will do fierce damage on the counter-offensive, and he's doing it right now. More Stalkers warping in the main. The problem is now there's 4 tanks. This is an unbreakable position. MaxPax is going to need to holster himself. He's going to need to put it back in his pants here and stay easy and calm. If he keeps trying to force his way in, then I think Clem's going to be on top of him. But if he slows down and just macros, he's good. Okay, we've got some more probes coming out. DT Shrine is there. That's a very cute addition, the DT Shrine, because he's dropping so many mules just trying to survive, building bunkers. Oh, this is actually huge. Right now, there is... Oh, he's about to get 2 scans available. Not a single turret on the map. No Raven. 2 DTs in the main. 1 in the natural. And he's just dropped a scan. He's just dropped a scan. Oh, he's just dropped 2. Did he drop 2? No, he's got 1 scan available. Okay, he's going to scan the 1 in the main. Siege tank dies. Siege tank in the natural taking massive damage as well. The tanks are getting focused, allowing the Stalkers to get in. MaxPax says, focus the SCVs. That's for tryhards and cucks. I am neither of those, and I will bring you swift vengeance. The Dark Templar with his invisible backstabbing, just ripping apart the bio. That is a nasty comeback from MaxPax. He doesn't go down easy. The Danish Prince ties up the series. Down here in the bottom left side of the map, game 3. Nice comeback in that one, but he's had 2 tough openings in a row, so he's got to find a way to clean this up. It's MaxPax. And yet he's playing the same very solid opening on a map which is really favored for Terran, and I cannot get behind that. I think if there's ever a map to just skip the scout and blindly do something, or to play a bit, you know, greedier or more aggressive, this is it. MaxPax is up against Clem in the top left. Team Liquid versus Psystorming. Of course, Psystorming, I would say kind of the underdog team in this story. They are the powerhouse of the North American scene, but Team Liquid is a world powerhouse with some of the greatest players of all time that have numbered among their ranks over the years. Reactor does go down here. Interesting. So it's Reaper into Reactor. Now you can, off this opening, be crazy and do like a 5 Reaper, 3 Hellion attack like in TvT, and a lot of Protoss won't be ready for it. But MaxPax so regularly builds blind shield batteries and stuff like that that it doesn't seem like a great call for him. Notice he's queued the rally point just to make sure the Adept doesn't pop out in this little nook and get trapped. He's going to start trying to move those Adepts across the map for a bit of information. He's going Stargate as well. So that Stargate goes down at about 227, not the fastest Stargate. And that's why I really like that he's chronoing his Adepts, making sure he gets a little bit more firepower on the map very early. 3rd Adept should also come out, but he's a little starved for money. Builds a shield battery at the front of the natural. Reaper does come in, and that probe looks like he was moving forward to maybe do a bit of a proxy. And there we go. Trying to catch Clem as he moves past. Cancels that shade. Doesn't want to get caught out of position. Seeing the command center. Clem builds the command center and the factory both in vision, giving away a lot of information, something I've criticized Clem for in the past. Doesn't want to compromise his building placement, but it does allow MaxPax to know what's happening. And if MaxPax was in the dark here, it might just be a little bit tougher for him. He's going to be going Phoenix nonetheless, which is okay, but probably not super ideal against a guy who's open with a Cyclone. Robo goes down on the natural as well, telling us that it looks like MaxPax wants to play Phoenix Colossus on Moondance. That Adept needs to get home right now. Cyclone easily will take that out, but with a Phoenix there to help pick it up and multiple Adepts, Clem's got to be wary to go across the map. Cloaked Banshee coming in behind this. Oh, there's been a lot more of this on the ladder recently. And I think this might have been the series which I'd actually missed watching completely. And maybe this is the reason why. I was like, damn, man, so many people playing Surprise Banshees. If you don't see it's coming, it's really tough to deal with. And MaxPax here already up a good 8 workers, just the way a Protoss player should be, saturating this natural very quickly. It's just with this style, you don't get a particularly early 3rd base. That can slow you down. Couple Phoenix moving forwards. Banshee's going to sneak its way around the left side of the map. 2nd Banshee's on the way as well. And, ooh, free Reaper kill. Very good pick off. Well worth it. And he's going to actually pick up this Cyclone and see if he can do some damage to it. Very unlikely you kill that. Does just back off for now. 1st Banshee coming in, remember, with no Oracle and an Observer that's probably going to rally across the map. As that Banshee arrives, you see it moving down the left side of the minimap. This Observer is going to be on the wrong side of the map. So MaxPax basically has to snap, recall the Observer, and get the Phoenix on it, and probably wants to run his probes to his natural, where the shield battery can defend it. Robo Bay comes down about 445. Just going to start heading towards those Colossus. Here we go. Banshee comes in. There's a Phoenix there, but MaxPax has not seen it. He's got to recall this Observer. You can see the Observer gets F2'd home. Probes get pulled away. He does have another Observer that just popped, actually. So it looks like 6 workers is going to be the final tally there, which is not too bad. Where's the other Banshee? Banshee's sitting at home. Clem's just going to keep it with his army for now. He could try hiding it in the corner of the map, but not going to. And the fact that he sees it at home is really nice. That Observer seeing the Banshee means MaxPax knows where it is, knows he doesn't have to worry too hard. There's a big push for Clem. Clem's coming forward right now. There's 2 batteries in this natural. I'm not sure why MaxPax has 2 shield batteries. That seems like a bit of overkill. He also takes a long time to resaturate his main base. That's a very big delay on that. And here we go. The army's coming forward. He's got a sentry. He's going to try and trap some of these units, perhaps. But Clem not going to take that risk, of course. Definitely something, though, right now with the Immortal is huge. Does he go for a Colossus or a Disruptor here? I think he'll go Disruptor just because it builds quickly. Phoenix come forward, gets some damage done on the Banshee, but, oh, he loses a Phoenix for it. That is costly. There's no stim here, but this tank positioning is going to get in range of his Robo, and that's going to put him on a little bit of a timer. Another shield battery at the front can help out here. These tanks starting to shell on these units. Good shot from the Immortal. He gets a Cyclone down. Good moves, but the Immortal couldn't quite get in range of the tank. The Banshee does get picked off by the Phoenix, but still more and more tanks are arranging themselves here. Disruptor shot goes out. He's going to wound that siege tank. Battery overcharge is going to need to be used, and indeed it will here. Phoenix picking off one of the tanks. No, it lands! This tank also not quite target firing correctly. There's no other damage here. The Phoenix need to do something right now. They're taking a bit too long, though. They get one tank, but the other tank, there's no way 2 Phoenix can shoot that down in time. And that siege tank so low, it takes another shot. It's deep in the red. Another Disruptor is going to pop out, but a Disruptor does not do sustained damage. A beautiful slow marine spread. He only loses 2 of them, and MaxPax is going to lose his Robo. The Robo on the natural, something you never want to do, and this is the reason why. It's so often, now that the Robo's gone, you've only got 3-gate production. Gateway units with no charge, no blink are not going to cut the mustard. And this tank push from Clem, absolutely stunning damage. Of course, it's one of the best maps in the pool. I do believe it's actually the best map for Terran versus Protoss. And Clem gets a 2-1 lead. All right, maybe just a little slow on that Immortal in the last game. Otherwise, he could have slowed that push down a bit more. But he's still got a chance to fight back in this best of 5. Going to Tropical Sacrifice, his map choice. It's MaxPax. And his opponent in the bottom left, it is Clem. Now, this pylon positioning is something I used to do every game. I've recently moved away from it because you end up walling off the Reaper here, which is kind of nice for slowing down Reaper pressure, but I feel like whenever the drop comes in, all your tech is exposed, and it's very frustrating losing the pylon, losing the buildings here, as well as moving around your base gets very awkward. I've actually started just building my buildings over here and accepting that the Reaper's going to come in, it's going to be annoying, it'll do what it'll do. And it's not the end of the world. I think it's a better way to play it. I think more Protoss players are going to stop building this pylon because there's just so often, if the game doesn't go quite your way, double drop here is so annoying. You just want to be able to pull your probes away. Keep most of your tech and important buildings over here. Obviously, you'll have to build some gateways over there later on as the game progresses, but your first gateways, Cybercore, and your first tech structure, especially if it's a Robo Twilight Council, you want to have protected on the right side. Once again, very safe opening here for MaxPax. This is just his standard solid way of opening. I keep saying, hey, I'd love to see him skip the scout entirely or do this or that. But he's trying to just play rock solid. And it's not a bad way of playing StarCraft generally. It's just something where he could be a little bit more of a risk taker. He's trying to play straight up. And the thing is, he does have a... Clem has a 2-to-1 win rate versus MaxPax all time in terms of their series against each other. That's why I do think it's something where, you know, you should be playing a little more fast and loose. MaxPax has a long-term viewpoint where he's like, no, I'm just going to learn to play properly, safe, solid, scout, react, StarCraft. He doesn't want to take any shortcuts. And, I mean, that's something which pays off in the long run. But in the short term, as a fan, you've got to watch him put himself in positions where he's playing very carefully against a guy who seems to be running away with the games. I mean, that push in that last game, it looked like a good start for MaxPax. And yet... just a hard push on that map. Going to be harder to kill a Protoss player on Tropical Sacrifice. More of a map where the Terrans tend to pick them apart with multi-drops rather than just killing them with a quick tank push. And nice positioning on the Adept. Kind of awkward turnaround for Clem. I feel like MaxPax maybe could have killed that if he was a little bit quicker to fire his first shot, but he actually cancelled the first shot by moving the Adept, and slight accident for him. Second Adept's on the way. The double chrono, so he's very keen to either pressure or just, yeah, poke with this Adept while the other Adept does defend, and we'll see what happens. Reaper does skirt around that. Adept coming on forwards. Bunker and a Marine are finished. Command Center will be done, and the Adept is here ready to defend. Second gateway on the front. And Reaper's going to be poking in at the same time as the Adept Shade. Command Center's finished. And with the depots raising, that will get cancelled. Other Reaper's going to dance in on the other side of the map. Let's see what he can get done. Not too much. Blink gets chrono boosted here. Hellion on the way. That's going to be a scouting Hellion, as well as a few more Marines. Tech Lab and second Barracks. So similar to game one, Clem is going to be going for extra barracks, getting a lot more bio, stim, and just raw material out, not prioritizing the starport units as early. It makes me wonder if he's actually vulnerable to DT drop. I remember that DT's picked him apart in the counter aggression on Cosmic Sapphire game 2, so maybe the DT's actually is like just a weak point in how he's playing this series, but because MaxPax hasn't been playing any Dark Templar, Clem's happy to take that risk. Reaper gets a probe, does get picked off. The Robo's almost finished. Once again, Robo on the natural. I mean, it's good to have units popping out in the battle, but I've just seen so many times that Robo goes down in the situation where otherwise the Protoss might be able to fight back that I'm personally not a fan. Clem once again going third barracks before starport. This is going to be a giant Marine tank Marauder push. Two Adepts moving forwards on the map. They're going to get a bit of scouting. Warp Prism will go forwards as well. He's actually going 4-gate Blink this time as MaxPax. So the Prism is going to come forward. Seeing two Adepts, you're not really thinking about 4-gate Blink. Maybe Clem skimps on his tank production, but no. The problem is 4-gate Blink, I mean, it can defend this push out, but I think 3-gate is much better in this scenario because you get enough Stalkers to defend the push, but you're not overcommitting to the aggression. I mean, if MaxPax drops a third, tries to build up a little more, this is fine. But if he actually just commits hard to mass Stalkers, he's going to be meeting a lot of siege tanks. So unless Clem is way out of position, he's going to have plenty of Marines, Marauders. He's already going to have at least 2 siege tanks ready. And looks like his Hellion comes in. He sees the late third. So Clem realizes it's going to be at least a Stalker poke. It might not be a complete all-in or anything, but he's like, okay, definitely a poke coming. He cannot afford to lose stim. His tank sieging there is a really bad choice. If that stim gets focused down, he's in huge trouble. He's got to pull the SCVs to get out there, but MaxPax not committing on it. MaxPax missing a huge opportunity. If he focused that down, that would have been massive. Yes, the SCVs did get pulled to repair, but I still think that's a missed opportunity, mate. He gets a few SCVs, though. He's actually getting a lot of damage. He does lose a Stalker there. Not before a Marauder does go down. A bunch of Marines and SCVs as well. The upgrade is clearly finished now. And he's taken some big tank shots. He's got to be careful. 3 Stalkers have fallen in this fight. The Adept Shade in on the back of the natural. And they will take out a few more units. An SCV and Marine go down. Both Adepts do fall. Starport finally starting at almost 6 minutes. Such a late Starport. The Prism here, but definitely do not want to blink up there. The Stalkers can try to damage the depot from the low ground, but that's not going to get you too far. Not with only one shooting at a time. Blinking up to the high ground, a very good idea here. That Tech Lab is exposed, so why not get the damage? As long as MaxPax careful with his micro, he loses one. Ooh, 2 Stalkers going down. MaxPax, he's got to put it away, man. He's got to holster himself here and take it a little bit easy. He's got charge on the way. He does have 4 gateways up. He's got a bunch more gateways on the way now. So he's going to have 8 gateways pretty quickly. I mean, if Clem just tries to shove, yeah, it's not going to be the most inspiring thing. He's you know, busy building units, swapping the add-ons around there as the factory swaps off to build a reactor for itself. He's going to go for a 4th and 5th barracks in the near future, but he's got that 3rd command center building quite late in this game. Observer sees it. Here comes the Hellion from earlier. He's going to get a probe. Not bad. He'd be sick if he got more than one. Sentries are finally going to deal with him. I mean, Clem's down on workers, and he's delaying his push a lot. It feels like he doesn't have a great position, because he's just got no activity on the map. The thing is, MaxPax doesn't really know how long till he pushes. He doesn't have all the information. I mean, he sees now a lot of what's going on. The thing is, if you're a MaxPax fan, you kind of want him to get a 6th gas and just keep probing up, and even think about a 4th base. That's how you get ahead in this scenario. It's like, okay, you're going to go Storm Drop. That's a pretty good move. Scan goes down, but does not get the Observer. A bunch of Marines go down. Oh, look at that. He's going to blink forward to get a tank. MaxPax trades a Stalker for a tank as well. Stunning trades for him, and I think he's in control right now. This is looking pretty good. He gets a second scan out here, but wait, there's not even... Okay, there we go. It does get enough energy. Observer goes down. Stalkers doing a little bit of damage. Not actually killing any units, but they are all heavily wounded. Medevacs are going to have to start using that energy to heal. Third command center floating down. Already a tank on the high ground and some bio split there. Clem in an exceptionally defensive stance. And the fourth Nexus goes down. Psystorm is on the way, but there's only one High Templar gathering energy right now. And MaxPax definitely should be making more High Templar quickly. 3 High Templar at least, I would argue, to get inside that prism. Zealot drop in the main. He's going to try and do Stalker Zealot on the front. Watch out for that Widow Mine. He does blink to dodge the direct hit, but nonetheless, a scary angle. Yeah, I think a good pullback for MaxPax. Oh, he loses quite a few Stalkers there. That's actually a very good trade for Clem. And the prism has to pull on out of there as well. If he comes in with Storm, he might be able to break him, but I think he should actually be focusing defensively because look, yeah, Clem's even moving out. Clem's going to move out. Second Forge is on the way. Up 10 workers still is MaxPax, but he wants to crush this army. Does he have the numbers to do it though? You can see that because he committed so hard 2 base versus 2 base, even though he got some good trades, he was on equal workers for a long time with Clem, equal economy. And let's see what he can do. Stalker's blinking forward. Big mistake. Oh no, he drops a High Templar that didn't have enough energy for Psystorm. That's what I was talking about with how slow he was on getting that down. Oh, there we go. A couple of good storms. That third storm kind of whiffs though, and big Widow Mines land all over his face. Oh no. Zealot run by comes in though on the third. Clem's in trouble over there. Good scramble. A lot of SCVs go down, but it's really the fight at the front that matters more than anything. The siege tank's making this very awkward for MaxPax. 2 Zealots get on that tank on the left side. It will go down. Army comes forward, but there's no Psystorm in here and not that many Zealots. The 4th base will fall. MaxPax just way far behind at this point. Clem all over him. And you can see that MaxPax is just getting outmanned and outgunned. Clem's giant ball of bio started stepping like mad. Finally, those sentries come in, but he even ferries the units. Oh, Clem, you mad dog. He doesn't have any medevac energy left. His bio is very damaged, but 12 workers and a 4th base going down. He's already done what he needs to do. First Colossus does start up here for MaxPax. His 3rd base looking saturated, but it feels like Clem is just monster moding over him. I've got to look at this, and I got to say that I think against a guy like Clem, you cannot just play safe, standard, and solid. There is a reason why, similar to his TVZ, if you play just straight up TVZ, you look like an idiot. Clem just looks out of your class, and it's the same in TvP. I think MaxPax's issue here is he's not giving Clem enough respect. He's trying to play, I'll just play safe, standard, solid. That doesn't work versus Clem. How do Reyna, Cyril, Dark, how do they beat Clem? When they manage to do it, they only do it by surprising him with big crazy backstabs, gambling attacks, wild maneuvers. They do that stuff all the time because they realize that when Clem's in his element, he's a little greedy, number 1. And number 2, his micro is exceptional. His engagements are exceptional. You can't let him be the player who picks where and when the fights happen. If he's picking where and when the fights happen, you're already dead. And I think, you know, maybe I'm being a little overly confident with this analysis, but for me, I feel that's the way it is. I think TVT is the only matchup where Maru, for instance, is able to just play his game and beat him, but Zerg versus Terran, Protoss versus Terran, it really feels like you need to adapt to the player, and against Clem, that means catching him off guard. Zealot run by got a ghost, but it does get cleaned up, and the bio comes in, kills the 4th base once more. He's going to redrop this triple drop in the north, rejoin it with this army. There's just not that much firepower for MaxPax. Psystorm's really not landing very well. This is the problem when your army's smaller than theirs. They can just pull back from those storms. It's hard to jump on top because you don't have enough Zealots and supporting units swarming over the bio to punish them. We've got Widow Mines over here. Ooh, here we go. Nice catch here for MaxPax. Gets one of the medevacs, gets a second one. But the third one looks like it will escape, especially with the starter set bio trading out for a fair few Zealots. He's going to go for a big attack up the center. Widow Mine hits the High Templar Prism. He's still got a little bit of Storm in there, but there's just so little firepower to back it up, and he clicks on the Prism and gets it. Nice moves by Clem. Recall from the north side, but guess what? The bio even clicks on the Colossus before it recalls. The other bio pairs up and finishes it, clapping the cheeks at Daddy Colossus. And Clem just steamrolls here with a 3-1 victory. It felt like he had complete control pretty much start to finish. That game 2 counterattack for MaxPax was deadly, but this was one of the most dominating TvP versus MaxPax series I've ever seen, and I think MaxPax is definitely going to need to go back to the drawing board and mix up his openings against Clem. Try skipping the scout, try mixing in a proxy gate, and randomize it a little bit more, because just playing passive and defensive, it feels here like Clem's just a bit too much to handle. GG, well played.